It was another disappointing season for the Orlando Magic, and once again, the ping pong balls didn't go their way as they ended up with a pick outside the top 5 again. They seem to have a hard time developing young players and developing a culture. Even if they end up drafting the right player like Victor Oladipo, they'll end up giving up on him and trading him away just to watch him become an all-star you thought he could become. I see the same thing with Aaron Gordon. Gordon is a restricted free agent this summer. Do the Magic want to give him a near-max contract and watch the team continue to lose with him as the best player? Or do they want to let him go and watch him flourish with a better franchise? It's a catch-22. Any player who can get buckets is a possibility for the Magic at this spot. With the 6th pick in the draft, the Orlando Magic select Michael Porter Jr. from the University of Missouri. Many experts had Porter on the same level as DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic. Now he's trying to convince teams that his back injury is a thing of the past. He played just 2 games at Missouri and did not look like the player he was in high school. Porter is a combo forward who's a bona fide shot maker. He has the potential to be as good as Jason Tatum is on the offensive end. Drafting Trae Young is also an option for the Magic, but I believe Porter is the best pick for them. Having a player at his size at 6'11", who can score in bunches, is the way to go in today's NBA. The only other concern with Porter is his defense, but he'll be a nice fit alongside Jonathan Isaac as they can form a nice combo for the forward spots. Looking back at the Jimmy Butler trade that was made a year ago, you could make the argument that the Chicago Bulls won that trade. Nobody saw Lowry marketing looking like the second coming of Dirk Nowitzki in his rookie year. Zach LaVine looked like his old self after coming back from an ACL tear, and Chris Dunn played like the player that most scouts expected coming out of Providence. The Chicago Bulls are in a great position to take a step forward by adding another young player in the draft, or they could trade one or both of their first-round picks for an all-star level player. But the small forward spot is the biggest position of need for the Chicago Bulls. With the 7th pick in the draft, the Chicago Bulls select Mikal Bridges from Villanova University. This 6'7" forward with a 7'2" wingspan is just what the Chicago Bulls need. Somebody who can lock down the opponent's best perimeter player and somebody who can knock down the open 3. He's not much of a creator off the dribble, but he doesn't have to be. Bridges is the type of player who knows what he can do and what he can't do. Zach LaVine and Chris Dunn can be the ball handlers and playmakers, while Markkanen can be the post present and stretch 4, and Mikal can capitalize on the open looks he'll get. Bridges is a 2-time national champion. He has big game experience and won't shy away from a challenge. Moving down to 7th in the draft lottery won't be that big of a deal if they can get Mikal Bridges. While the Cavaliers continue to fight in the playoffs, they have a big summer coming up. The best player in their franchise has a big decision to make. LeBron James could lead the organization again for a better opportunity to win, or he could stay and most likely end his career in Cleveland. Maybe the 8th pick will be a deciding factor. The Cavaliers could trade this pick to add veteran help for LeBron, or they could draft a young player that could contribute right away. But the way LeBron has to work in order for the Cleveland Cavaliers to be competitive against the Boston Celtics without Kyrie and Hayward, it's more than likely that he'll lead the Cavaliers again. With the 8th pick in the draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Trae Young from Oklahoma University. The prospect that LeBron is a big fan of will be a great pick for the Cavaliers, whether LeBron leaves or not. Even though Trae Young didn't end the season on a high note, there's no question his game will translate in today's NBA. He needs to continue to work on his handle and get stronger to be able to withstand the physical play of the NBA. Trae literally has range to 30 feet. You can start to build a foundation that the Golden State Warriors have been able to build. A system where you have elite shooting, versatile defenders, and ball movement. He might not be Steph Curry as an overall player, but Trae is a better passer right now. He has a high basketball IQ and has the confidence you need to be successful on the next level. A LeBron James team selecting a high-profile point guard might be a sign of things to come, because when the Miami Heat selected Shabazz Napier in 2014, LeBron ended up leaving his current team, and there's a good chance that might happen again. The New York Knicks got off to a surprisingly good start and was looking like a playoff team. Kristaps Porzingis had taken over the leadership role of the team and was playing like a superstar. He made the All-Star team for the first time in his career. but the franchise player tore his ACL, and the goal of making the playoffs went down the drain. The Knicks have missed the playoffs for the past 5 seasons and could struggle again next season while Porzingis recovers from injury. David Fizdale is the 11th Knicks coach since Jeff Van Gundy resigned in the 2001-02 season. Knicks could be looking for a wing player or another big man who can play alongside KP. With the 9th pick in the draft, the New York Knicks select Wendell Carter from Duke University. Even though there's a need for a wing player for the Knicks, passing up a chance to get Wendell Carter would be foolish. Carter could be an important piece to a championship-level team. He is probably the most polished low-post prospect in the draft. Combine that with his defense and ability to shoot the 3-ball, and you got yourself a legit running mate next to Kristaps Porzingis. Carter is a good rebounder and shows good awareness as he has a nice feel for the game. He can be just as valuable to the Knicks as Al Horford is to the Celtics. You need guys like that on your team to compete for a championship. Even though a lot of people, including myself, expected the 76ers to reach the Eastern Conference Finals, after the way they ended the regular season, they still had a great year. Both franchise players Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid proved for the most part that they can stay healthy and produce. This was one of the most exciting teams to watch this year, and the sky's the limit. Things are looking up for the Sixers. Not only do they have a top 10 pick, but they have cap space to add a max player to the squad. The 76ers will most likely be one of the favorites to get out of the East next season. Looking for an athletic forward should be an option at this spot. With the 10th pick in the draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Miles Bridges from Michigan State University. Even though he didn't improve statistically from last season, Bridges still brings a lot to the table. He's a very strong and athletic prospect who brings a lot of passion and energy to the game. His explosiveness and ability to run the floor will be valuable playing with a playmaker like Ben Simmons. He's a solid 3-point shooter at this point, but needs to be more consistent to help the 76ers reach another level. Playing the 4 exclusively might be the best move for him, because he's not that much of a ball handler, and he's big and strong enough to bang down low with the big boys. Being Dario Saric's backup at the 4 would be the best chance to get the best value out of him.